you?
Good, how are you?
Good. How's setup going?
Oh, I haven't even been in there yet.
Oh, no?
What's up? Well, I don't think we should go in until right at 6. He wanted a full hour.
Ready for some fun?
Oh, gotcha.
So he's in there with Nate right now.
Good to see you.
We can hear it.
I'll go, yeah. I'm gonna just sit back there.
But you don't need pickles and drinks jar.
Get that footage. It's the shot right here. Oh, wait, I won't ruin it.
So we'll just come in this room and start maybe set up or put our cases and stuff towards the couch. A lot of people think I planned this album. I didn't plan it. Actually, I love seeing the looks on people's faces when I tell them that I had never listened to blues when I wrote this album. I never sat down and said, I'm gonna write blues. It just kind of happened to me. But it happened at a really pivotal time in my life. When I was a little kid, I was pretty crazy. I was a wild child. Adventurous, creative, spontaneous, a big dreamer, and a risk taker. I was always jumping off of stuff, running around, drawing on walls, climbing on rooftops, getting into stuff I wasn't supposed to be getting into. And I didn't really know how to express that bold, wild side of my personality in healthy ways, and so that's kind of just how it came out. And I don't really know when it happened, but somewhere along the way, I kind of subconsciously just ended up believing that who I was inherently bad. I kind of believed that my personality was rebellious and wrong. I started believing I was too loud, too adventurous, too curious, too much. And nobody wanted that. So I decided to start showing up as this person that I thought people wanted, needed, or expected me to be. And I got really good at it. I mean, I had to. Because I cared way too much about whether or not people liked or loved me to show up and be my real self, only to end up completely rejected. So in this fear of rejection, I just completely hid myself. Because I didn't want to rub people the wrong way. I didn't want to push people's buttons. I didn't want to be too much. Because I felt like if I really choose to be my real self, people are going to think that I'm too much and they're going to choose to walk out of my life. And that was just too painful for me to think about. So I just showed up as this nice, quiet, polite, reserved person. who would never affect anyone. Two years ago, it was like my heart couldn't handle it anymore. My heart was done. It was like I didn't have the energy to actually maintain this image of this person that I wasn't anymore. I was so tired of feeling unseen and unknown because I wasn't actually letting people see the real me. I wasn't actually experiencing real connection with anyone because I wasn't allowing them to connect with who I really was. It was during that time that I super clearly heard God tell me, Kayla, you've been trying so hard to not affect people with who you really are when I created you to affect people with who you really are. The ways that you want to express yourself, those aren't random. I created you to express yourself in those ways for a specific reason. I want to impact people's lives through who you really are and the way that I created you. And it's actually through you choosing to fully embrace yourself and to believe that you're worthy of love as you are that's going to cause other people to step into the freedom of believing that they're worthy of love and to fully embrace who they really are. So I started to let my real self come to the surface. I started to embrace who I really was for the first time in my life, and everything started to change. I threw out all my floral skirts and dresses, and I filled my closet with ripped jeans and rockstar t-shirts. I threw away my curling iron and my straightening iron, and I let my hair be wild and curly. I filled my arms with tattoos. Around that time, a friend of mine actually came up to me and she said, I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but I see you playing electric guitar and I see you stepping into the rock genre and I see you playing rock concerts and I see you playing this blue electric guitar. Now, what was crazy is I had never played electric guitar. Actually, at the time, I was just playing acoustic indie folk music. But my teenage dream was actually to play electric guitar, and my favorite band was Aerosmith. I loved rock and roll music. So it felt like this wild, crazy dream that I had never even attempted and had buried so deep inside of me that I honestly had completely forgotten about it until she said that to me. And I felt God tell me, Kayla, you stopped fighting for who you are a long time ago, but I never stopped fighting for who you are. And I won't stop until you experience that who you really are is so worthy of love that you fully embrace yourself. So I picked up an electric guitar, and when I did, I immediately knew how to play blues. I had never listened to it before. I had never played it before. But it felt like the instrument I was meant to play, and it felt like the music I was born to write. I felt so alive. I felt like me. So I started writing this album. Not because I decided to write an album, but because I decided to love and embrace who I really am. I decided it was time to give the world who I really am.
Told me that you could be all that I need, but I haven't seen a thing. I get the feeling that you're just using me. So it's time for me to go my own way. It's time for me to go my own way. It's time for me to go my own way. time for me to go my own way. It's time for me to go my own way. You said you'd be there anytime I needed you. Oh, but you never followed through. I get the feeling that you're in this for you.